Every day is a day to thank God. And the first way that we do it. Then now if you get all technical and you want to go special, then you go next is your libation. But the first libation that you pray of that you use is the libation onto the inside. Because we believe that the internal organs are the places where all of the elements, all of the emotions rather, comes to our bodies. And we know that the blood, which is Osun, it flows and it shows every can you imagine every molecule gets some blood. There's one that said, I'm not giving you any blood today because I'm on vacation. When we have that, we have cancer. Because one decided, I don't know if I'm going to be a white cell or a red cell. And then that's the imbalance, right? So when we have our water, we are waking up, we pouring a libation. And what is a libation? Is a formula passed down in most cultures and spiritual traditions to honor nature, life, existence. So why do we have libation? To acknowledge our physical home, acknowledge Mother Earth by pouring cool water, which open all of the vortex, energy fields, and vibration. So you're reminding the earth that we know the act of creation. Can you imagine that? That little bit of act where we take some water, which is the majority of what we have inside of us, and we pour it into Mother Earth, which we live on. That's why the first thing you say is Omi Tutu, fresh water. Fresh water. So you drop your water, recognizing right here, water plus earth gives what? Birth to nation. So you watered yourself, your inside. Now you're going to water where you're standing. See the gratitude that comes on here? First, you're grateful that I was breathing. You go to, oh yeah, you got your, the air, all of the Orishas have some place that they govern. If you want to get cultural. And then you do that. And then you go and you take your water and you say, Omi Tutu. Fresh water, meaning today I am opening up the existence and the possibility of the growth of everything that I am going to ask for. Baby, ain't nobody bigger than you. If all of us are pouring libation, can you imagine that and set the same intention?
Powerful. Sam's asking, is there a certain way to drop the water?
Up to you. You can pour it. You can dip it in your finger. If you're living on the 21st floor and you have carpet on your floor, get yourself a plant, put it in there, pour it in there, or throw it on the ground, whatever. It doesn't matter. 2 fingers. Here's one I have in front of my madama that you have a little glass and you can do that. Or you can have the big glass like I have here that I'm sipping along throughout the day. That's what you do. Just sip it. So you refresh the inside, you come outside. Omi Tutu. Fresh water, first earth, Ile Tutu. Ona Tutu. Bless my road. Tutu Laroye. Give me the blessings that exist for me, the potential. And so why do we do that? Because this is our physical home. So we take the water and we remind ourselves, Mama, Earth, I want to let you know that I'm here and I'm refreshing you because I'm coming with a new plan for today. Right? And so you say, Omi Tutu, Ile Tutu, Ona Tutu, Tutu Laroye. Everything that is coming to me is coming through the water. Then you acknowledge our physical home. Well, our earth is the vortex. The cool water opens all of the energy fields and the vibration. When do we do a libation? It's for gratitude. The invocation is for gratitude, invitation to spirit to be present. We acknowledge it ever presence of being energy and vibration. So when we put the water there, we just say, okay, water and earth, we recognize we recognize your strength. We're grateful. And where do we do a libation? Whenever you want to still your heart and take away from outer distraction and welcome spirit home again to connect you, to remind you, right? So that's when and the where. Anytime, anywhere you want to just still your heart in that moment, that's a libation. A prayer is a libation, is open you up. And how do we have a libation with sound, with water, with liquor, with movement. You can have a vibration of movement, because what are you doing with the water inside when you move? You're moving it. So you're waking up Oshun and you're like, oh my God, pump to my heart. I'm going to do 3 laps today. Or she says, oh, you got a lazy today. I'm only have to do 25 laps. Okay. So Oshun is waking up and she's like all over the place. Oh, let's move. So you move her with sound. The sound will get you going. And what we're doing there in that movement is we are acknowledge God's name. That's the first thing that you want to do when you're doing a libation. After you put the water and you say, God, earth, I'm here. Then you start calling God in all of its words and your greatness, your majesty, your royalty, your queen of nothing, you who never abandons me. You supply me with it all. You, the elaborate one, the one who never runs out of things. That's what we do. We say, Mojuba Lofi, Mojuba Loru, Mojuba Lo Demare, Olorun Alabo Sudaye. You, the one who covers the entire earth. Because you're opening up a space. You can't just come in and say, okay, God, I'm ready here. Okay? You don't just come in and say, okay, I'm here and put some water here. I'm ready to talk to you. No, you go to somebody. You got to talk. You got to build up yourself and bring that reminder that you're here for a specific prayer. So you pray and you open up and you do all of the mojubas or the juba and you call all of the fabulous names that you know God, Alabusai, Olorun Alabosuni Fe, Olorun Alabosuni. You who control yesterday, you create today, and you control tomorrow. Then all of that is done. Then after that, then you're going to call on your ancestors or those that are departed, because you're calling on them to help you for the day. Call great mama, to call on people that you know who have helped you in your community. Call on everybody that you know in that moment that you want to bring in the experience you call today. Woo, baby, you got to wake up a whole bunch of so you call your ancestors, you call your spiritual family, you call the people who took care of you, that you can remember them that have passed, and then you go into you're calling your biological family and your spiritual family. You call your teachers, your elders, your homies, people of the same blood, people of the same, all of them, you call them family, teachers, all of your practitioners. And then you ask for protection for all of the people who are dear to you. So before you even start asking for what you want, you're asking for protection and blessings. And you ask for protection of all who are near and who are present with you when you are pouring that libation. I pray for my children, my dog, everybody that's going to be part of this thing. And then, boom, now you say, why did y'all wake God up? Not to complain and say, can you get the lady on my job to stop bothering me? Really? She's bothering you because you don't know me. Okay. Because when you be doing that, none of us on this platform or that are listening are ever going to pour a libation and start nothing negative. But you have people in situations that do that. And they invoke some ego and send them off to somebody, not knowing that your voice is the one that come put out. So what do you think the voice is going to come? It's coming right back to you. So when you think that you're working stuff and nobody knows, look at your life and you know what juju is. You got to run around and say, ooh. Many times I get a reading and say, oh, people are working you. I don't care to know who it is. Tell me what it is to strengthen my vortex so that it does not affect me and my children, my grandchildren, my students. I don't get stupid and try to ask me, does the name start with a Y, with an X? Really? That's too much spit. I need to save that spit to eat a mango. So in that thing, that's when you state your intention. You have already called, you have already summoned the living and the dead, ask for protection, ask for everything. Then, I'm here today to ask that the day is going to be perfect. I'm getting ready to do this class with Verona. Let everything, Sister Verona and I, everything will work. The computer come on, the lights will, all of that. You get specific because, stuff be out there. Energy is out there, and you just ask for that. You spray your little stuff. If you need to, if you need to do that. So,
All
and then after that, when you finish, then you thank for what it is that you know is already done. Because there's nothing that you have to thank and wait for. You just thank it and as if it's acting now. Thank you for this wonderful day that I'm going to have. And the lady on my job, she is going through her own thing. I'm just grateful that you're letting her see how beautiful and how powerful I am and how I am there to help her. You put that in that energy, a lady come shift. That's how we work. And then you thank, of course, God for showing up because it will show up because it's always showing up. We just have to shift and say, okay, give my inner Ori that opportunity. Does
right.
that make sense?
That makes perfect sense. Perfect. Thank you. You obviously mentioned a lot about water there and us being obviously majority water. You mentioned the importance of libation and also speaking onto water. So, whilst we're talking about the element of water, what advice would you give to people regarding spiritual baths and knowing when to have what type of bath?
Yes. Of course, you're always going to want to connect to water because water is so powerful. Man, Oshun is. And we just said Oshun because we know that water, but water, Omi Tutu is a gangster. It's the element that whatever you put it in, it takes on the shape. It takes on, isn't that gangster? That is like, there is nothing that can control me. If I put it in a jar, it's a jar of water. If I put it in a bowl, it's a bowl of water. If it congeals, it's called ice. If every forms, that's right. She's the mama. No one can live. We can live without food, but you can't live without water on the desert or wherever. So water, that is mama. Letting you know I'm here, I'm available, I'm inside of you, and I'm outside of you. So drink me in every form. Drink me out of the coconut, which is the best. But if you're living in a culture where you got to buy it and it's boxed up and 50 million people ran into a piece of iron or whatever, you do what you do. And the water, we're not even talking about which water is pure. Are we doing ozonated? Whatever. Look, pray over that sucker. Turn it into what you need. And so water is so powerful because it gives us, we have an opportunity every time that we step into our shower. That was the next ritual, is that after you've poured your libation and you're getting ready to go do your day, you go to the source, you get in the shower. What you're doing is all of the molecules that your body did not use, and we call perspiration or sweat or pee or whatever, we let that go. And where's that going? On our skin, which is the largest organ, right? Is our protection. This is our coat. So we go to wash that off. All the things from yesterday that didn't use, the anger, the pissed offness, the bad health, the cigarettes that we smoke, whatever it is that you do that's messing up with your body, you have an opportunity now to just refresh. And that's why it's so important that every day when you bathe, and if you notice, and I know Verona, you are a water person, when you get in the shower, all of these great things, you can solve all of the problems of the world. That's how I am. I get in the water in the shower and it's like boom, everything. Because I'm one of those water people too. My moon is in Pisces, so that's home for me. I get in the water and it's like, oh wow, really? Oh man. And I always sing because I remember one of the students said, yeah, you're singing. It's not something that I do intentionally. When I get in the water, I always sing. So so you get in there and you do your shower. And while you're showering, always have something that you're using. Every day I use either some kind of soap with it that has a prayer, that has a leaf in it, that has a chant in it, that has something in it. Make your own soap. Buy your soap. I don't have any online right now because they all went out, but we'll have some more soon. But you get your soap, you get whatever it is and you tell what it is that you're going to do. Right? You tell today I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. So I want my molecules to be in alignment with everywhere that I'm going because my Ori told me already that it's going to open the roads for all the people that are going to support me today to be the highest expression of myself. I want yesterday's sweat be gone. And so you put on your clothes. And that's the next ritual is when you're bathing and when you're finished. So you have soaps. We have soaps that you can get soaps for Iyami, Osun, Egbe, for enemies, for wealth, for money, from prosperity, all of that that you want. When you bathe with it, that's the energy that comes. Because when you make spiritual soaps, you're chanting into that soap what it is that you want to do. Are you putting on those scrubs? You know, people just, if I put up scrubs right now, that I have scrubs within an hour, all of it is gone. Because the things that I put in there is chant. There are chants as well as molecules of the herbs and the plants and the things in it. And when you put it on your body, it's like, oh, I need to go someplace with this. This is too much energy. I gotta go. So they take you where you can, wherever it is that you put it on for, it takes you right there. You're like, oh my God. I got on the train and this lady told me that she likes my necklace and she asked me where did I get it. I says, I got it in Turkey. Oh my God, I'm from Turkey. Really? Oh my gosh. When I was over there, I ate so and so. I wish I could find, oh, there's a restaurant down the street that has the same thing. So you go to the restaurant, you run into a friend you haven't seen in 25 years. That little soap did that. Bam, bam, bam. That's nature. Nothing is coincidence. When you align yourself with the things that keep you just vibrating as an expression of Olodumare, you already woke up, Osun. She's ready for you to be creative. And you out there, you bathe, the right people, the right situation comes up. That's why we bathe with soaps. That's why we bathe. That's why we clean our house. Our home is our temple. This is a place that after you've been jerked around by the job or whatever it is that you're doing, and you had an argument, or you and your children are acting like teenagers, and you're like, I wish y'all were still young, and they're doing what they're supposed to do, and you're feeling la 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 la. You got to clean your house out. You got to clean your house out. Change the energy. Change the furniture. In the odor of Oshe. Change the furniture. Move that chair over here to over there. Just change it so when spirit comes in, it finds a new place to bless you. So you clean your house out. You beat the walls down with the herbs and the plants. You spritz it. And you start praying your word. Every word that you say is a prayer. And you start saying. And it doesn't matter what language, what book you use, if it's just from your own intelligence, and you start cleaning out so that when you have already bathed, come out, went to work, you come home, you're like, whew, I'm so glad to be home. Because home is where my spirit can rest. And if you get to the point where when you come to your door, you say, oh God, here we go again with that house needs to be cleaned. It needs to be cleaned. Because the things that have been said, done, just in the people in sticks in the walls, sticks in the carpet, sticks in there. So that's why you got to wash. If ever you go to Africa, everywhere that you go in Africa, North Africa, West Africa, the first thing that you see happens. Someone is sweeping the ground every day. It's to remove the things that we don't even know walked on there, be it living or dead. You sweep that, just like the shower, just like the bath. That's what you do, is you're cleaning
it. This is some good advice. I love it because you mentioned the importance of speaking to the water, cleansing and purifying it from our bodies. Even with our pee, we give thanks for that morning pee. Then we have the shower or the bath. Then you speak about the importance of cleaning our actual space, not just purifying it with water, but even just moving things around to shift the energy. So I love all the advice you've been giving us so far. So you made a very good point about our home is our sacred space. So we want to make sure that we can make that place as pleasant as possible. So, what advice would you give to someone who is in a workplace and they need to try and maintain their own sense of sanity in that space? What tips and advice would you recommend for that? So, trying to bring that knowledge but into a different environment that you have to go into.
You got to always have something that you're working with. If you got bagua, some feng shui, you got crystals, you have water that you spritz around, and people think that is a air freshener, and you have blessed that little sucker up and clean that space. You can put tools. You know, you have that person that's jealous of you. Take yourself a nice big bouquet of sunflowers, the fake ones, and put them there. Yes, take a mirror and attach it to it. Say, oh my God, it's so pretty. Really? Oh my God, I love it too. And you put it there so that every time you think about me, bam, my flowers slap you in the face and you flip around and go someplace else. You got to walk around. Smudge on the go. Smudge on the go. Make yourself a little bottle of smudge on the go. And while you're in there, and you call your grandma up in there, or you call her whatever it is, and you can pray from the Bible, anything, and just spritz around and shift that energy so that that becomes your home. Wherever you are, you control that space. You are in control of that, not the person in the other cubicle. This is yours. And even online, you have to do that. You got to change some of the things that we have on the like on your logo and stuff. There are ways that you can put different energies in the logos, either by doing it physically like that or marking them in there to bounce it back, baby, because there's that force that's helping you go to the next step.
That's an interesting one. So elaborate on that one. So you're saying on your logo to try and change it to shift the energy on it. So
Yes,
you mean design a brand new one or just
you can stick. You can talk to me about that, but you can stick an Odu in there that is going to repel.
wow. Wow, that's very clever.
Sometimes when you keep having challenges on your website and challenges with stuff like that, people be trying to impersonate you. you know? And so you got to shift the energy. That's
Wow.
why people are walking around here with tattoos. That's what tattoos were in the day. Was signatures of stay the hell away from me.
Yeah, so like Sam's saying, so you're talking about sigil work then.
Huh?
So like Sam's question, it's like sigil work. So
What?
you're using, sigils where you have the different signs and symbols that have a particular meaning. So you're saying that you could have something embedded into your logo that is repelling whatever. I love that. That is so good. Thank you. That's a very powerful one.
And when you get a reading on a business, like I do business readings, and you're having, this is the energy of your business. Sometimes you could just shift one word or one letter, and it shifts to a different vibration. And in shifting that vibration, that's in a code itself. But then if the Odu comes up, you can take the Odu and mark the Odus that look like little dots. Boo boo. Oh, she has some cute little earrings. Really, they ain't no earrings, baby. That's her juju. Yeah. You gotta be gangster because there's so many people that are focusing on the external as who they are, and I want some of that, and I want to be just like them, and I want them not to be who they are. They're spending so much energy. Know that the stuff is going to repel and go right back to them. We don't have to spend energy asking who they are. Just do your stuff as the ER means to be protective of you, and that's why you have EME soap. Everybody should have a soap for EME. You can contact me, and I can let you know. And you get soap for the EME so that they can favor you, so that people will love you, so that all of that can happen. So you don't have to spend any time in no bunch of airballs trying to kill no chickens because you think the lady down the street don't like you.
I love that. That's very good.
That's where they can go all over. You can put it on your shoes. You can put it everywhere.
Fantastic. So, also, anybody, if you want to put your questions through, please put them in the chat and I'll put them on screen. So, Dark Goddess says, tap in, fam. A lot of energy is upon us. Stay spiritual, strap up, keep your crystals on you, and do your rituals.
Strap up, baby. Strap up these days because look, when we had the Obatala festival and Obatala manifested himself on earth, Obatala said there's going to be a lot of problems with the world. We're going to have a lot of floods and earthquakes and rain. Obatala spoke all of that on the 25th of August. Here we are, the 25th of September. We had all of that wahala. Obatala said all of this is coming. Do not live in fear. Get the knowledge that you need so that you will be able to balance your life, and then you can become a balance for the world. Get Verona to have the class for you to learn how to strap up, and last week's The Power of You, which I do on Wednesdays, I expressed to everyone, get a maroon flag and put it outside of your door. That has worked for me so many years. So, Oya will know, oh, my child lives over there. I'm not going to bother her. And the hurricane will go somewhere else. It has worked. I've lived three hurricanes, and we had the thing out there.
Sorry, repeat that for me. What did you say you put outside?
A maroon flag.
A maroon flag.
That's
Okay.
it. You don't have to have any name on it. You can embellish it and say, "Oh yeah," and all of that stuff, but it just needs. She knows the color,
Oh,
the
wow.
energy, the color, and the energy of Oya is out there. And as she flies in the wind, she goes right around you.
Wow. That's
I
amazing, family. Are you listening? As
Yes,
the
and I put
news
it up last week. I
the
put it up
hurricane.
last
Wow.
Wednesday. I put it up last Wednesday. I said they said there's a hurricane coming. Put up your flags, and it worked. It has worked so many years. I remember when Hugo came in North Carolina. I was living in Charlotte. It was horrible, and that hurricane came, and it changed the reality of everybody in my neighborhood. Why I was the only one that had electricity?
Sorry, that's bad spelling on my part. Sorry. So that should be a maroon colored flag, just for anyone there.
And they
Maroon
can put the
colored
word
flag
on
on.
yeah if they want to. They can beautify it and all of that. But I just put a purple flag outside and that's it.
Amazing, amazing.
And purple, some say, I used to say it works. It really does. Because if you live in an area like Florida and that, and I'm so
Okay.
sorry. I just need to take this moment just to give, my condolences to people who lost loved ones. And I didn't know it was so rough in North Carolina because I did my reading because I was going to Florida to do the ritual for one of my godchildren was she finishing her year of training. And I was like, oh, this date, when I read it, it said it was going to be fine. The weatherman said it's coming. I'm like, when I did the reading and I asked my ancestors, I asked Obatala and I asked Egbe, but he said, Alafia, go. I said, okay, I'm gone. I left Thursday. The hurricane hit Friday. Everybody's calling me and asking me, oh, I hope you're okay. I see he's coming to North Carolina. I said, I'm in Florida on the beach because it hit Florida, but not where I was. I'm not saying that the purple flag did all of that, but I'm saying that my intention, my prayer, I did the reading on being there. So that when you are in control of knowing what it is, today I gave under the power of you, I gave the Odu of says, he who knows does not die like he who does know. So when you are prepared and you have knowledge, you have information, you act accordingly.
Hmm.
You act accordingly. And so there are things that we know, and through divination, you're able to find out what is the number, what is the thing that you're going to put on your logo, what is the thing that you're going to put on your children's backpack, what are the names and the things that you're going to do to shift energy of protection that we are doing. We can control nature. Nature don't control us. Nature wants to be with us. So we can control the negative aspects of it. When you feel that you're going to have a bigger house, a stronger house, and that's not controlling nature. You're controlling yourself in saying that I know my limitations. Therefore, I arm myself up. I try to align myself with whatever that force is, that nature is. I'm going to align myself with it. And then you're not in competition. You're not fighting. You're just like, ooh, let's move this.
Wow.
That's nature. Nature is not our enemy.